Hey creatures, it's Harrold here, and today we're in the Alchemy Lab talking about my favorite top 5 films. Wow! Harrold's doing a list. It's gonna be baller. We're doing a list. We're doing our first list. Come join us here on TikTok and on Instagram. Be sure to like and subscribe for all of your Harrold needs. And now for Harrold's Top 5 movies. These are desert island movies for me personally. I'm not saying these are the best films of all time, but I am saying I would take with me anywhere I would go or get stuck in or locked in a box with that has a working VCR and DVD player. Please leave a comment for any lists that you would like us to do in the future and tell us how wrong we are about the films we chose today. Here we are at number 5, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Written by Douglas Adams originally as a radio show for the BBC. He went on to do a book series that you can see right here. There's even more in the series, but these are the 4 that I have. He also wrote a few other series and helped develop this film. It is a comedic science fiction world surrounded by the character of Arthur Dent as he experiences the world through the Hitchhiker's Guide. He picks up his towel and joins his best friend, Ford Prefect, as they hitchhike across the universe. Filled with one of the best casts this side of Mars, you're gonna recognize all these faces: Sam Rockwell, Zooey Deschanel, Mos Def, and Martin Freeman as Arthur Dent. John Malkovich also shows up, and the late, great Alan Rickman plays a voice role of Marvin the Depressed Robot. The movie follows in Hitchhiker's tradition, seeing as it was partially wrote by Douglas Adams himself before he passed. I find myself quoting this film almost every day. Computer, do something! Handing over manual control. Good luck! The film has a zany sense of humor that is always a satire and a mirror to the real world, as Douglas Adams saw it, which many people will also see. Someone that is very relatable in Arthur Dent. So don't forget your towel, and remember, the answer is 42. Number 4, The Prestige by Christopher Nolan, starring Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale and Scarlett Johansson and many others. This is probably Christopher Nolan's most human story about a couple of magicians in competition with one another in more ways than one, with a surprise cameo with David Bowie as Nikola Tesla and a riveting story that will have you guessing until the last few moments of the film. The Prestige, I still think, is Christopher Nolan's best film. The battle between these two characters is absolutely intriguing and hard to watch, but at the same time, you want them to succeed against one another. And the way that Nolan's plot is laid out in this one, the competition is oh so fierce, with each one trying to get the upper hand on the other. And if you're looking for another incredible performance by Christian Bale, then The Prestige has one right up your alley, without him going too far over the top. Hugh Jackman is also here, but I think he's confused sometimes in the film. But altogether, The Prestige is definitely a must-watch if you want a good drama with a mystery and a dangerous competition. Number 3. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly by Sergio Leone, starring Clint Eastwood, Lee Van Cleef, and Eli Wallach as the titular characters. The 3 of them are hunting for a treasure across the American landscape as the Civil War rages on. If you want to know where the modern Western comes from and the inspiration for many of your favorite film directors, then look no further than The Good and the Bad and the Ugly. There is so much taken from here. The music, the images, the characters, the plot, the jokes. There's 2 kinds of people in the world, Tuco. Those with guns and those who dig. You dig. This is a sweeping Western epic with 3 characters that are clever and extremely dangerous. It is the 3rd part in the Dollars trilogy. But like the Evil Dead trilogy, they are very loosely connected, and some of the characters are entirely recast. The entire trilogy is fantastic though. I would definitely recommend checking it out. But if I only have one to choose, it's definitely going to be this 3rd one. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Entertaining from beginning to end and beautiful to look at. Every frame is a poster. Number 2. Would you like to take a roll in the hay? Roll in the hay, roll in the hay. Faubruqua! I ain't got nobody on me. I ain't got nobody on me, on me. Our second choice for our Desert Island Films is Young Frankenstein by Mel Brooks and Gene Wilder. For me, this is the greatest comedy of all time. It is funny from beginning to end. I have no notes. No notes. I have rewatched this film over and over and over again, and I have enjoyed it every single time. Individual snippets are funny on their own, and characters are extremely memorable. Gene Wilder made the good decision of not including Mel Brooks in the film and just letting him direct, which was the best choice overall, I think. This allowed Gene Wilder to express himself on camera without Mel Brooks trying to one-up him all the time. As the plot flows naturally, the jokes just roll and roll and roll. When characters disappear and then come back, you're happy and surprised. There are zany jokes. There are witty jokes. There's really quick jokes that if you don't really pay attention, they just go right above your head. Wordplay jokes, physical comedy, a plot that actually has stakes and consequences, and it follows through with that. The only note is that it was based on an established IP, the Frankenstein IP. That book's been around forever. But all you really have to know is that there was a film named Frankenstein. He brought a creature back to the life, and then you just go from there. The film works completely independently of everything else. You just have to have a smidge of base knowledge of what Frankenstein originally was. This will not stop me from recommending this film, though. Anyone that has not seen this film, I say, put your things down and go watch it immediately. You will be laughing by the end of it, and probably roarously laughing. Number one, 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 number one. And my number one desert island film of all time is gonna be the film. Ready? Are you sure you're ready? Super sure you're ready? Are you super sure you're ready? Are you really, really sure? I don't know if you're sure or not. All right, you let me know if you're sure. I'll just sit here and wait. Oh, you're sure? Okay. All right, we'll give this a try. You ready? Number one film. Number one film. All right, we're going to get loud here. You ready? Ready? And Blade Runner. Oh, like you didn't see that coming. Like you didn't see that coming. Blade Runner. This film is what made me understand what film could be as an art form. What an individual with a vision can pull off in a small frame. Blade Runner was directed by Ridley Scott and stars Harrison Ford, Rutger Hauer, and Sean Young. Released originally on the same weekend as E.T., no one ever saw this film until years later. The VHS market really helped it a lot, and then Ridley Scott was able to go back and do a director's cut, and the film found new life. I have watched all of the different versions. The original theatrical one that has Harrison Ford's voiceover all the way to the final cut. So remember, George Lucas is not the only one that plays with his films after the fact. The difference in this case was Blade Runner had budget and time constraints, and the only thing that could fix it, the fan base and the resilience of the director trying to put together what he originally wanted that the studio took away from him. Nobody took Star Wars away from George Lucas until Disney did. I personally like the director's cut the most, though the final cut does clean up a thing here and there, and it's mostly visual. The story remains intact, which is what I really return to. It is a detective story, a noir detective story. Harrison Ford plays the Blade Runner, looking for synthetic people that have escaped to the planet Earth and are running amok. And let's talk about the performances. Harrison Ford and Sean Young are great, but it's really Rutger Hauer that stands out the most. His ending speech will leave you haunted. Every scene he is in lights it with fire. And yet he is labeled as the villain, and I don't see him get his due on any of the villain lists. He is absolutely incredible, and if you're going to count him as a villain, I'll put him up against anybody. But that's the beauty of Blade Runner, is it's way more complex than that. Within the context of the story, character Roy Batty, probably one of the most sympathetic and sad villains you will ever come across in film. His motivations are pure and childlike. In the end, all in all, Blade Runner is kind of his film. Harrison Ford's doing a fine job as his detective character, but he is discovering the story like we are. So he's not putting too much into it, which I think is a good choice as an actor. So add these incredible actors together, the incredible sets together, and the music together. Blade Runner feels more like an opera that you're experiencing. A visual audio opera in the theater. And that's why I will always keep Blade Runner around as my #1 pick. The ambiance and visuals feed into the storytelling mechanics of the script, showing you the desolate world, showing you what it means to be an individual in that world, synthetic or not. And like all good sci-fi, it reflects our own world in a dark kaleidoscope. Blade Runner really is the bee's knees when it comes to a filmmaking triumph. And over the years, many filmmakers have paid it homage. It is a film I can endlessly return to. I can even put it in the background, or I can sit down and focus on it, and I will still get value out of this film. It shouldn't be a surprise Blade Runner is many people's top films, including my own. And if you disagree, please leave a comment, and we'll talk about it. Thank you for watching Harrold's Top 5 Movie List. Tell us what you thought and what you disagree with. Remember to like and subscribe. We're also here on Instagram, and we're here on TikTok. Like and subscribe for all of your Harrold needs. Until next time, creatures. Bye!